What is up, YouTube? Schmidtward here, checking in from Project Diablo II Season 10 Desecrate. This is a recap video of my first roughly 16 hours leading up to this season. I assembled a team of gamers that I was hopeful could get the first Hell Baal kill on hardcore. Erazure and myself practiced a lot during the closed and open beta, during just Hell playthrough runs with various people. Shout out to everybody that was able to help us kind of build up to where we ended up, which was the first Hell Baal kill on hardcore. That was the goal going into the playthrough, and it's exciting to make it happen, get it done. Team was pretty good. Servers were a little spotty right at launch, and we all didn't kind of get into the game at the same time, but we made it happen. This video, it's pretty much just going to be an appreciation video to the PD2 dev. Shout out Knight. He did a lot of work on this game, and he's stepping away sooner than later. And just want to say shout out to you. You helped bring really good balance to the game and kind of reel it in when it needed to be reeled in, and provide a refreshing moment here. And shout out Knight. Here's a clip of me hitting level 80. I was the first level 80 on hardcore. Pretty much everybody on our team got the class announcement for their class. We had every class represented except an assassin. And we had 2 necros, and we got that announcement too. Sometimes, usually, the team that's ahead going to Baal, the team that's behind them, they'll just sit in chaos and beat the Hell Baal winners to level 80 announcements just because they get a few extra Baal runs in. But it's kind of hard to say how far behind people were from our pace, but we were crushing it. Rip Oli here. Oleander died. I was hoping there was a good story here, but we later found out that he just disconnected and ended up dying while apparently he went to the bathroom and just came back to a rip screen, which has happened a few times this season to various people. I have a theory that US Central isn't quite as supported as US West and US East, and it seems like there's more problems on Central than other NA servers, so it's all hypothetical and just my opinion, but that kind of seems like where the servers are at, but it is what it is. That being said, we saw a lot of green text this reset, which is always fun. Generally more green text, more better, but also obviously, it sucks to die. It sucks for everybody who dies, but it does make it exciting and adds an element that, everybody's kind of excited about. You see who's dying, who's getting the first Uber kills, etc. I'm not sure. We may have missed the Demise message, or it's coming up, but Demise got the first Uber kill. I'm pretty sure he put his team together kind of with that in mind, and pretty stoked to see him accomplish that. Shout out Demise, you're mostly a good guy. I like you. But here's an Alder's helm that I'm still currently using. I'm recording this video during the downtime on Saturday, October 26th. We got 3 sockets on the Alder's helm. Pretty sick. Sadly, it's not a +2/+2, but can't win them all. I started Druid this season pretty much just because the team, nobody wanted to play Druid with the initial patch notes, and I don't blame them. I think somebody was going to play Druid, but they were going to not be happy. And then when they reverted the spirit change, multiple people were like, okay, I guess we could play Druid. But the people that were going to play Druid were leaning more towards Necro, so I ended up just biting the Druid bullet and getting playing the Druid, which I don't know. I haven't played a Druid in a long time, but it's probably by far the most diverse class in terms of power level. In PD2, kind of feels bad here. Brick and Inoculus into 3-socket Corruption feels bad, but it is what it is. This belt's pretty sick. I used it up until, 2 hours ago when I finally got to a point where I could put on a Verdungos instead of that, but the DR was really nice from that. It's still clean. I'll be slamming it soon, TM. But yeah, kind of back to playing Druid. I really haven't played Druid in a while, and I don't know. I've been very vocal in the past about how I think Druid is super overpowered, and I still think that. I'm pretty much playing Druid this season because they did not nerf pretty much anything that I was interested in playing on the Druid kit. Like, they changed the summoner aspect, which is kind of cool. They made that where it's not just spam bears and wolves. Well, it still kind of is that, but there's a new Druid helmet that makes it so you can't summon wolves. You can only summon bears, but you get to summon 2 additional bears. And they kind of adjusted some synergies, but Summoner feels just as strong as ever as a starter to me. Usually I start like Assassin, or I started Sork last season, and last season I did Andy Meth Farm. The previous, 3 or 4 seasons, I started Assassin and just started Arcane, which I think is arguably the best starting farm in the mod, just based on the drop tables and all that jazz. These chance cards are sick. I'm getting a lot of gold in maps. But yeah, I was down to start Druid. I mean, it's overpowered early. It can do Ubers early. It can transition into the fire build, which I'm currently planning on, unless something else grabs my attention before I do make that transition. But yeah, Druid's just kind of broken. I really hope at some point they kind of bring the power level down on not only the fire build, but also kind of, I don't know. Rabies might be in a decent spot, but it's kind of a jack of all trades where, once you get Rabies going, you can do maps, you can farm Declone. I'm not sure how it does in Ubers. I'm sure it's fine. And then it also does Rathma. So it's, not as cracked as it was during like season 5 and season 6, but it's still very good. Here we found a T-Gods that I was pretty excited about since I am planning to go into Ubers. Sadly, we gave it to Cucks, and he got a disconnect death. And bye-bye T-Gods. Here's a 2-throw we gave to Atoz. Our team, during that first week, 10 days, it's kind of like, just help each other when you can. And, if you're not going to make a big sale off something, just pass it on to the person that's going to use it, which I'm all for, helping each other out and trying to just optimize the team. Yeah, so I don't know. We're kind of passing gear around a bit. Everybody's pretty active during the first weekend. A lot of people work full time. I took Friday, Monday, and Tuesday off, so I'm pretty much just no-lifing the first 5 days. Hoping to, grind that Uber and early clone currency grind. Shout out Retro. No matter how much he complains, they won't change how that works. But at the same time, it's hard to balance the game around, people who, play 16 hours a day during, the reset weekend and really get after it, and the casuals who, play a couple hours here, a couple hours there. You know, they want them to be able to get into Ubers, and you know, it is what it is. I think the game's in a fine spot, but you know, everybody has their opinion, and it would be cool if you could disperse some of the, you know, currency acquisition away from Uber Tristram and like more into maps or more into LOD content. The introduction of the corrupted zones is pretty sick. I really like it. I really like Arcane early because you're going to find a lot of Worldstone shards and just kind of make that happen and, you know, make trades with the Worldstone shards to get, you know, the gear you need as people love slamming stuff. That's pretty much why we play this game. Here's the Cucks death, 87 rank 3 on the Amazon ladder board. Most our team after the initial P8 run were just, you know, P1 gaming and MFing. You know, some people map together. Kreedix and Cucks like to map together. And yeah. But yeah, Cucks ripped there, which is sad. Rip my T-Gods. Surely I'll be finding Ubers without it. Here we find an 8 max Noko, which is kind of huge because I do want to get into clone. The clone itemization early is definitely more interesting now, just based on, you know, they nerfed Noko by a lot. It used to just be a flat 10 max fire res. Now it's a 4 to 8 roll, which means you can't just get Noko and water walks and walk into clone with, you know, reasonable gear and just take it down, which I think is for the best. I honestly, I have to figure out how I'm going to get my last 2 max fire res because I have the Noko and water walks. They give you 13. Usually it's just a Dungos, but obviously a 2 max Dungos is pretty expensive early. I'm not anticipating getting that, so maybe like, you know, 2 from a belt, 2 from an amulet, or just, you know, any random, what's it called? Lava Gouts. You can always do a Vex rune, but then, like, you're kind of wasting a Vex because you don't need 4, you only need, you know, 2, and you're putting 4 in there, but, you know, it is what it is. I don't know. We're going to figure it out. I hope to get into declone, you know, shortly after they patch the BSS issue, which, you know, a lot of the changes they implemented this season kind of just haven't really gone that well. That being said, you know, it's a small, you know, group of devs that are just working passionately on this mod. And, you know, I would never hold that against them, as I think, you know, what they do for the community around PD2 is amazing. And I love this game. A lot of other people love this game. And, yeah, it's a great game. And, you know, if you're not familiar with PD2, but you like other versions of Diablo 2, or you like, you know, other ARPGs, I would definitely give this a chance just because itemization is really fun in this game. It's pretty sick, and they're always adding more content, which is sweet. There's a new Uber this season, and yeah, thanks for watching. I almost died at the end of my night after that ending to the map. I was like, fuck this, I gotta go to bed. And yeah, back to grinding. Check me out on Twitch if you're into watching live streams, and drop a sub here. That's the best way to support me. And yeah, drop a sub here on YouTube, drop a follow on Twitch, and I hope to see you guys around. May RNG always be in your favor. Peace out.